Hello hockey fans, and welcome back to another video. In the sport of hockey, penalties are a rather common occurrence. Whether it's a stick infraction, an illegal play away from the puck, or even a fighting major, you will often find a player sitting in the penalty box and made to serve their sentence at least once or twice a game. The National Hockey League is no exception, with pretty much every single player that has ever suited up in the league having committed an act worthy of a raised arm from the referee during their respective careers. Whilst some players take more penalties than others, no one has spent more time in the sin bin than this guy. This is the story of Tiger Williams, the most penalised player in NHL history. Before we begin, I just want to mention that my analytics tell me that 78% of you who have watched my videos just this month alone are not subscribed to my channel. So if you do enjoy this video and you haven't subscribed already, please do consider it would really help me out a lot. Or I'll give you an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and throw you in the sin bin. You have been warned, folks. Anyways, on with the video. In order to tell this penalty-filled tale, allow me to take you back to late May 1974, when the Toronto Maple Leafs selected Swift Current Broncos forward David Tiger Williams with the 31st overall pick in the 1974 amateur draft. Interestingly, the Canadian forward was also chosen 33rd overall by the Cincinnati Stingers of the rival WHA during their 1974 draft, but Williams turned down the Stingers' offer to join their team and elected to play in the NHL with the Leafs. A pretty good long-term move, don't you think, folks? Williams would then split his next season between Toronto and the Oklahoma City Blazers of the Central Hockey League before joining the Maple Leafs roster full-time for the 1975-76 NHL season. Over the next 4.5 seasons, Williams would thrive as the Leafs' premier enforcer, becoming a fan favourite in Toronto thanks to his willingness to stick up for his teammates in whatever way the situation demanded. As a result, Williams would spend much of his time in the penalty box, recording at least 298 penalty minutes in each of his 4 full seasons on the team, and even leading the league in penalty minutes twice in both 76-77 and 78-79. Williams was penalised so much that he also set new Maple Leafs franchise records for the most penalty minutes in one season by a left wing, with 351 in 77-78, and the most playoff penalty minutes by a Leafs player all time, with 240. Though Williams had become synonymous with dropping his gloves and standing up for his teammates, the forward wasn't just a top enforcer. He was also a pretty good goal scorer too. Alongside his large number of penalty minutes, Williams was able to reach the 20-goal plateau twice with the Leafs, scoring between 39 and 50 points a year in each of his 4 full seasons with Toronto. A mid-season trade during the 79-80 season on February 18, 1980, saw Williams swap the blue and white of the Maple Leafs for the Flying V of Vancouver, as Williams headed west and joined the Vancouver Canucks. The Canadian forward would then spend the next 4.5 seasons of his career in British Columbia, continuing to couple his decent scoring numbers with his time in the penalty box, as he scored 31 points or more in 3 of his 4 full seasons in Vancouver, whilst also recording 265 penalty minutes or more in each year as a Canuck. This play would also generate the most productive season of Williams' entire NHL career in 80-81, as he scored a career-high 35 goals and 62 points in 77 games, to sit nicely alongside his 343 penalty minutes. Not only that, but Williams was also able to set a few franchise records for the Canucks too, such as the most playoff penalty minutes by a Canuck all time with 181, the most penalty minutes in one playoff year, with 116 in 1982, as well as the most penalty minutes in one playoff series, with 52 against the Chicago Blackhawks in 1982. They don't make them like Williams anymore, do they? Then, on August 8, 1984, Williams was traded to the Detroit Red Wings in order to join the original six franchise for the upcoming 84-85 season. After just 55 games with the team, where he scored 11 points and posted 158 penalty minutes, Williams was traded once again, this time to the Los Angeles Kings on March 12, 1985. Tiger would join his new Californian franchise and keep up his point-scoring, penalty-heavy play, scoring 90 points in 162 games and posting 727 penalty minutes. Williams' time with the Kings also saw him post the highest penalty minutes he would ever record in a single season, with 358 in 86-87. Surpassing his previous record of 351, which he posted with the Maple Leafs almost a decade prior. Having played parts of 4 seasons with the Kings, on October 15, 1987, just 2 games into the 87-88 season, Williams was traded for the 4th and final time in his career to the Hartford Whalers. The Canadian forward would score 6 goals and post 87 penalty minutes in 26 games before he was placed on waivers and subsequently released from the team on February 12, 1988. With no NHL team interested in picking him up for the remainder of the season, Williams decided to hang up his skates and call it a career shortly after, at the age of 34. After 14 seasons in the National Hockey League, Tiger Williams finished his NHL career with 241 goals, 513 points, and an astonishing 3,966 penalty minutes in 962 regular season games, as well as 35 points and 455 penalty minutes in 83 playoff games. If you combine both his regular season and playoff penalty minutes, Tiger Williams spent over 73.5 hours in the sin bin during his career. That's over 3 full days! In doing so, Williams set the NHL records for both the most regular season penalty minutes in a career, as well as the most career penalty minutes all time, at 4,421. The closest that anyone has come to his regular season record since is forward Dale Hunter, who finished his career in 1999 with 3,565 penalty minutes, roughly 400 minutes or 6.5 hours less than Williams' regular season record. Forget calling it the penalty box or the sin bin, it should be named the Tiger Cage. Following the conclusion of his career, Tiger Williams has taken his talents away from the rink and towards pen and paper, co-writing both an autobiography about his career and even a cookbook featuring many NHL-inspired recipes. He also made a brief appearance as a roller hockey player in 1993 and was the subject of a campaign by punk rock band the Hanson Brothers to get the forward inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1996. The most touching tribute to Williams, though, came during the 2002 NHL All-Star Game in LA, when the home team all wore Williams' number 22 during the All-Star Celebrity Challenge. Though it may not be the most glamorous record in the National Hockey League, Tiger Williams' desire to stick up for his teammates whenever he was out on the ice, coupled with his willingness to serve his sentence in the sin bin, led to him setting an NHL record that is near impossible to beat, especially considering the lack of fighting and the need to limit penalties in today's game. Whether it was his intention to or not, Williams found a pretty unique way to get his name into the hockey history books, and in doing so, enjoyed almost a decade and a half in the best league in the world. I'm sure there are plenty of second-round picks that wish they could say the same. And that's the story of the most penalised player in NHL history. What do you guys think about Tiger Williams' career? Was it good, bad, or do you think he should have spent more time in the penalty box? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. A big thank you to Antti Hannanen, Chris Gadsby, Connor B, Paul Mallia, Jordan Whitehead, and Martin Tolness, as well as a huge thank you to Max Artis for helping support this video via Patreon. If you too want to help support the channel a little bit further and get a shout out at the end of every future video, make sure you head over to patreon.com/oddmanrush and become a patron today.